The journey. So the journey from Sykesdal to here was very challenging at least. So we left and we knew that there were high waves. Before we got to the ocean, we needed to get out of the river, and I thought it would take us like 1.5 hours, but in the end it took us I think around 3, and that time it got dark, which meant that we didn't see anything. We couldn't see out in the ocean, and the whole plan was to just go to the ocean and see how bad it was, like how bad the waves were, and then we would make a decision. Then we got further into the ocean. They got really high, and it's also dark, so you can't see anything, but you just know sometimes, like, you see the waves on the horizon, you can see them building up and going down, which means that they're really high. So yeah, and then we thought, oh, maybe we can go back, but then we would have the waves against us, and we were already out there like for 2 hours, so that wasn't the plan either. So the only thing that we could do was just to go forward and move on and see what happened. And what we also had like a lot of squalls, which means that there was like rain but also a lot of wind. But when the squall was just gone, we had literally no wind. So so that's why we kept the motor on and sailed on the jib only. So the big waves were pretty high. It's still a bit high. It's 1:30. I got my night watch. So yeah, that was one. So but yeah, they were pretty big. There's another one. So these ones we had sort of like on and off a couple hours ago. Now it's been quieting down, but we still have some of them in between the bit smaller ones. In the inlet they were pretty okay, so it wasn't that bad. But when we got further off shore, they became higher and higher, and then we had a canyon. It wasn't pretty up there as well. They were very steep. Yeah, the canyon wasn't good fun. He's sleeping. I went to bed from like 9 or like 9 till now. I'm up. Later on we're gonna switch it back again. Not knowing anything when you come out of a river in the dark is not my style. That's why I didn't film anything, but yeah, because you don't know how big they're gonna get, because you know they're gonna be big, but you don't know how big. You don't know if the boat can handle it, or the boat can handle it, but we can handle it. Now everything's like falling on one side to the other, but it's okay. We're gonna survive this. But that's a little bit how it feels. Survive mode. So yeah, it was I felt like it's not only the scary part. Well, it wasn't scary, but it was also rocky and annoying, but yeah, some waves you're like it's really scary because you know you have high waves, but then you know there's also a canyon coming, so you know that's gonna be rougher, and that makes it scary, I think, not knowing what would happen, of not knowing what comes around the corner. And so yeah, it's been challenging, right? That's for sure. come up. We have been having these waves all night. I have never been so rocked from one side to the other before. So conclusion, yeah, they were big. I don't think they were like 6 meters. You could still easily sail through them, but not a good idea. Look at this one. Hello, wall. And the other one. Let's make a wall. Let's do that. Almost out of the big waves after how long? Too long. I learned my lesson. Jumping by itself because of the wind, but now it's okay again. We are almost at the corner, which means that in a couple hours we're in Patiamo. So yesterday we ended up here. It's an old fisher's village. So we really wanted to stay here a bit longer because there are caves over there that we really wanted to check out. You can just drive under them with the dinghy, and but unfortunately we had to anchor like 5 or 6 times here, and we thought it keeps dragging the anchor. It's pretty deep, but we normally don't have any issues at all with our anchor. So we don't know what happened. There's another boat here, also at anchor, but he's doing fine. So I don't know why this just happened. So, but we don't feel safe enough to stay here. And then the next morning we had very good winds up down to here. So they were like from the side, so it was very nice. We hit like 9 knots at some point, so that's awesome. we are flying. This is a nice ride. Look. 6 knots, 7 sometimes. And it's just awesome. We just left our little anchorage for the night. And now we're going to Partiamo and anchor over there. Hopefully this time the anchor will stick where it's supposed to need to do. We only have that squall behind us, but it's getting less. And it's good because then we have more, there's more wind. Because when there's a squall, there's also a lot of wind. And so this one pushes us a bit faster than I think we would normally go. Hello, partiamo! And that's over there is the entrance. Yeah, and then we've got here, and the anchor just set just this so directly, so we only had to try it once and it was okay. This is our anchorage. So that over there, that is Partiamo. And then on a Monday morning, we that was my pants. On a Monday, so even Timo even fell out of bed once. I almost fell out of bed once, a couple of times. So yeah, because it was that rocky.